Hey guys, Beetle here. This video feels weird to make. I've grown up throughout the years having oodles of fun on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. I have almost every console from both parties. Xbox, on the other hand, I only have an Xbox One that I rarely play. I think more women have had feelings for me than I have touched my Xbox One. Or at least, I hope that's the case. Point being, I have zero idea what to expect with Xbox. I've never played Halo or Gears of War or Blitz the Time Sweeper. Oh, there's Forza! Wait, Killer Instinct's good. Rules apply. All of these prices are from GamePriceChart.com as of November 14th, 2022. So those from 2037 watching as the Earth is a husk of its former self thanks to the corruption which was swept under the rug until it was too late, the cheapest Xbox game has probably changed since then. Also, thanks for the view. This list is only looking at the price loose, as game cases are so last season. No variants such as Platinum Hits or Greatest Hits. No sports games unless they're unique enough from your Maddens or NBAs to get a pass. Licensed games need to display exceptional reviews in order to be on here. You can't just ride on the coattails of fan service. To qualify, a game needs to have a consistent review score of 7 out of 10, or similar. Finally, if a game I reviewed is on here, it'll be an honorable mention, and then I'll move on to the next game that qualifies. Alright gamers, grab your 2 liters of Mountain Dew, party-sized Dorito bag that'll only ever get eaten by one person, and a mic that's heard more racial slurs than can fit in a Tarantino film, and let's look at the cheapest Xbox games. The cheapest game on the original Xbox is Official Xbox Magazine Demo Disc 22. Now this title may sound odd to my younger viewers. Come along children and enjoy this segment, Gaming History with Grandpa Beady Lee. Back in the early 2000s, game reviews were hard to come across. While nowadays you youngins can look at your IGNs and GameSpots to see if the game was good, back in the prehistoric era, we had to rely on monthly subscription magazines to give a totally accurate review of games. Yes, journalists never had any ulterior motives other than giving the public the truth. Also, gaming magazines still exist? The internet also existed with forum sites? Game journalists sometimes didn't have the best intentions, especially when their job was on the line, if they gave the wrong game a bad review? I'm doing that thing again where I'm talking to myself to make it sound like someone else is in the room with me? Wow. Even though gaming magazines still exist, one practice that has faded away was the practice of magazines giving you demo discs. What's a demo disc, you ask? It's a collection of upcoming titles scrunched together on one little disc. On these discs, there would be one level from each game you could play, or if the game wasn't even ready for that yet, a teaser trailer. It was typical for gaming magazines to reward subscribers by occasionally giving out a demo disc every once in a while. This demo disc, for example, had a demo of Soul Calibur 2, Brute Force, Otogi, and, hold on to your pants, ESPN NFL Football. So, although this is the cheapest game, I don't really know if this counts as a game, so I'll move on to the cheapest real game. Volvo Drive for Life is a racing game that, although you could say has mixed reviews, most major reliable outlets gave it poor reviews, so it doesn't qualify. Also, I'm not a car guy, but if I'm going to simulate racing, why would I choose a Volvo? This looks like a kid I'd pick up my car with. This looks like a car I'd pick up my kid from school with, not risk my life street racing with. Onto the game that qualifies. Now, this might be a bit controversial, as one could totally argue that this is a variation, but because Price Chart doesn't call it a variation, I'll allow it. Also, it's my show. What are you gonna do? Find my address and dox me? Project Gotham Racing 2 and Xbox Live Arcade Double Pack. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, a Batman racing game? Sounds awesome. Dear viewer, I thought the same thing. Except I don't care for Batman. I've casually watched a few of his films where he fights funny society man. But past that, I could care less about one of his games. Nope, Project Gotham takes place in Gotham, which is another name for New York City. But you see, there's something kind of off about the racetrack locations. If you know geography well, you'd probably notice that all of these places are nowhere near New York City. The closest you get is Washington, D.C., which is still a few hundred miles off. But don't worry, 2 pieces of Xbox Live content was added years later, taking place in Paris, France, and Long Beach, California. I know this is a bit nitpicky, but I feel like the only reason they did this is so that a kid would think this is a Batman game. So how'd you like the game, Beady Lee? Well, I didn't play it. My Xbox emulator, or I mean my legally purchased Xbox, wasn't working well, and after freezing on me twice, I decided to throw in the towel, and say that if you like racing games, give it a try. This is if it doesn't shit itself while trying to play. It's got some great review scores. Plus, it comes with Ms. Pac-Man. And that's a deal I just can't complain about. Ah, the Xbox 360. The one console that I felt everybody but me owned. My family opted for the Wii along with the PS3 later down the line. This is when the price came down from $500 and the controller didn't look like. I never got a 360, but my uncle did. We even got to play what was, at the time, a brand new piece of technology. The Xbox 360 Kinect. A piece of hardware that best left forgotten at a time. I'm not going to go into why everyone hated the Kinect, because if you don't already know, there's a myriad of online critics who would love to inform you of why. But the reason I bring up the Kinect is because the cheapest game on the 360 is Kinect Adventures. The game I ended up playing over at my uncle's house, and one of like 5 games that were critically acclaimed on the Kinect. Microsoft's answer to Wii Sports, Kinect Adventures hosts a number of interactive minigames one can play all with the power of their bodies. Ricocheting a ball and angling it to hit targets, jumping up and down and avoiding obstacles, and jumping up and down and avoiding obstacles while on a river. And since you need to jump in real life to simulate the action in the game, I can only imagine people living in lower apartments just loved this game. It's a whopping $1.61 and, in my opinion, is an enjoyable experience. Not worth buying a Kinect for, nor is it even worth digging out of the dusty bin rotting in the back of your garage. Fun fact though, the Wii isn't the only console plagued with useless third-party accessories. For this game, Atomic Accessories released an inflatable boat that 2 players could stand on while playing. In honor of the pure stupidity of this accessory, I would like to do a mini top 5 reasons why this is arguably one of the worst gaming accessories ever. Number 5, this accessory only applies to one minigame of 5. Kinda like if a company released an accessory to only help out with one Mario Party game. Number 4, the boat is approximately 5 feet by 5 feet, meaning you have this Goliath peripheral taking up the majority of your living room. Number 3, who's gonna take the time to inflate a 10 square foot toy for a minigame that takes less than 5 minutes to complete? Number 2, 2 people are jumping on top of an inflatable device on the living room floor. This thing's gonna pop. One wrong landing and either the side of it pops or someone falls down. And number 1, for a secondary purpose, they say you can use it as an actual raft. Now, should I really leave my kids or my safety in the hands of a company who makes bootleg video game accessories? I mean, for God's sakes, even Google says their official website isn't secure. Sorry for the tangent. Now for the game that qualifies for my review. Dishonored. Need I say more? For $2.51, you can get one of the most critically acclaimed games of the 2010s. This game has a score of overwhelmingly positive on the Steam page. A score of 91 on Metacritic, and, oh yeah, one game of the year in 2012. I'm not going to spend $10 on this obvious answer. If you like stealth-based action-adventure games, you're going to love this game. Hell, you've probably played this game already with how big it was when it came out. Any game that refers to giving an unconscious woman to her obsessed stalker, or lobotomizing a scientist as the merciful option, is way too base not to pick up for $2. Finally, we get to the one console I own on this list. Xbox One's cheapest game. Xbox One's cheapest game is some game I've never heard of called Rocket Arena. Specifically the Mythic Edition. Well, would you look at that? Another variation. The game that qualifies is right next to it, and this one is... Rocket Arena is an online third-person shooter which got okay reviews, meaning I'm going to play and review it because I'd rather eat an original Xbox Duke controller in less than 20 minutes than once again try and review an MMO I played for an hour. So let's see, we just start up the game and... $10 for a game that can't even run its own anti-cheat program? Yeah, despite multiple attempts, the game's anti-cheat, something that even the website stated should have downloaded automatically, won't install on my computer, meaning that every time I try and boot up the game, I get the same message. Wow, one video and 2 games decide not to function properly. I hope the videos coming later won't face as many technical difficulties. But I'll be real, I don't know how good this game is, but all this anti-cheat did was prevent me from playing an online EA game. So this is the equivalent of someone stopping me from going to Popeyes. I'm not exactly going to shed any tears. What's that? This is a pretty disappointing episode because I didn't really review anything and instead just name-dropped 3 games and moved on? Well, not my fault I have the technological skills and luck of a lobotomized Neanderthal. Sorry to those hoping that in the end I'd fall head over heels and repent for the sin of not really caring about Xbox. But the Halo theme slaps. And hey, you guys also have Rareware. You know, and all their great games. You know? And Forza! Alright, I'll shut up. Let's blast past the changes that happened while I edited this video. I like to leave a poll in the comment/community tab for which cheapest games vid I should do next, Nintendo handhelds or Sega consoles. Do understand that due to the fact that I'll be visiting family for most of December, along with finishing another project I have for this channel, I probably won't be able to upload this video until January, if that, with all the footage I'm gonna hopefully get. With all that said, bye for now.